Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Everyone wants to be stronger, not just physically, but in every part of life. But between confusing workout advice, complicated equipment, and trying to figure out nutrition, where does anyone even start? Well, to get stronger mentally and physically, go to Anytime Fitness. You'll get a personalized training, nutrition, and recovery plan, all customized to your body, your strength level, and your goals. You'll get expert coaching to optimize your results, anytime, anywhere, in the gym, and on the Anytime Fitness app. And you'll get anytime access to 5,500 gyms worldwide, all with the right equipment to level up your strength gains and your life. So get started at AnytimeFitness.com. That's AnytimeFitness.com.
Come on. Like, it's this huge font that's like, grapes are cheap. And then tiny little font that's like, if you have the app. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it.
I do like grapes, though.
Sup, nerds? It's basketball. Welcome to Horse, the basketball podcast about everything except for the wins and losses. My name is Mike Schubert, and I'm joined by my trusted co-host, the Paige Beckers, putting up an elite all-time stat line to Kelsey Plum saying, haha, who cares? Here's a game winner. It's Adam Mamwala. Adam, how's it going?
I mean, that's kind of the perfect game if you're a Sparks fan, right? Is like you get to see the young phenom go off and your team still wins on a game winner. Like, what's better than that? Paige Beckers was 17 of 21 from the field.
Yes.
How many? Was it 44
44 points,
Outrageous.
80%. It was something where it's like highest point total, I think, by a rookie, or at least up there. Like, definitely the highest efficiency. Like, no one's ever done it on like 80% field goal shooting like she did. It was ridiculous. But then Kelsey Plum made a game winner. Truly horrendous defense from the Dallas Wings on that final play. She was wide the heck open.
I don't know what they were expecting or who they thought was going to take that shot. I guess clearly they didn't think Kelsey Plum was going to be the one to shoot it, but I don't know why you wouldn't think that. Right.
So she made it, then did the classic, like, let me be stone cold and not get too hype celebration or lack thereof, which didn't work out as well because there wasn't just like one hug. Like, it was like a moving, multiple people shaking around, and like clearly Kelsey Plum is like trying to not react the whole time, which is kind of funny. Game winner celebrations are always really fun. But yeah, that game happened. Super fun stuff. Yeah, it is an ideal thing if you're the visiting fan. This was like when I saw the Nuggets play the Knicks, and I really wanted to see Jokic. And Jokic did not have a very good game. He got into foul trouble and didn't play a lot. But he did have 2 really good plays, and that was it. And I was like, perfect. I saw him make a ridiculous pass and a ridiculous shot, and then he didn't do too much otherwise. Right. Check. And the Knicks won.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this is different because you weren't rooting for the Nets, but when you saw LeBron play in Brooklyn, like, he had a LeBron game, which is very cool. Like,
yes.
I would have to look up the stats of when I saw Kobe. I don't think he had like an amazing game. And the one time I saw Michael Jordan, it was like, for anyone else, it would have been a good game, but I think he had 24 points and was like, 8 of 21 from the field sort of game where it's like, it's still fine, but it was not a signature game. So
right.
It's always cool when you get to see the stars do their star thing and your team wins. That's like the best case scenario.
Right. And as a Knicks fan, it was delightful to see the Nets lose. So,
oh yeah,
good stuff there. Good stuff there. So let's get into other good stuff. We got to go to the Teal Memorial locker room to prep for this good stuff. And Teal Memorial locker room, always good vibes. Always good vibes. Good time all around.
They're still celebrating with Kelsey Plum in there.
Yeah. And Kelsey Plum is still refusing to smile. I can't show emotion. I have to look cool.
Yeah, it's like it becomes not cool when it feels like you're going out of your way to do it to look cool.
Correct.
It's not organic, It's like a Jason Tatum celebration where you're like, I planned this months ago.
Right. Yeah. Like, I think the most iconic one is when Derrick Rose did it, but he got like picked up by like Noah. I think like he got picked up by one
He's
dude.
got no expression on his face. It's
just
so
like
funny.
none. And it's great, but like, yeah, it's hard. It would have been fun if she like was super stone cold and then eventually broke and laughed. Like, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do after a game. I'd probably freak the hell out. I don't think I'd be able to like keep my cool. I think I would go absolutely wild if I made a game winner.
Well, what's fun is, it's hard for me to not talk about Michael Jordan every episode we do of this show, but like one of the most iconic Jordan moments is what's called the shot, where he hits this free throw line jumper and then does this like, he must jump 4 feet in the air and pump his fist. This is the shot over Craig Elo in, I think it's either 1989 or 1990. But then the further along he gets into his career, it's just like a foregone conclusion that it's going to go in. So then it evolves into like just like a very small fist pump, which Kobe would do a lot as well. And then his final shot on the Bulls over Brian Russell, like he doesn't do anything. He just hits the shot, keeps his arm up, and then runs back to the other side of the court.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible. All right, but you know who else is incredible?
Our patrons, and especially our producer level patrons, who we love all of you, but we certainly appreciate the producer level patrons a little bit extra, shall we say?
So shout out to our producer level patrons: Polly Burridge, Salvatore Testa, Siobhan Ellsbury, Dunker Chasing Taco Falls, Bang Bang, Roast Beef Debris, Denver Steam Nuggets, Anna Reed, Steph Curry for Google.
Yes, did you hear about this?
I did not. What's the Steph Curry for Google?
Well, according to Google itself, which is arguably not the best place to get news about Google, Stephen Curry is bringing his elite athlete insights to Google products. He just signed like a huge deal with Google stuff. There's definitely some AI involved, but I don't fully understand what this means. It says, today at Made by Google, we're announcing 4-time NBA champion, 2-time MVP, and Golden State Warriors point guard Stephen Curry officially joining Google as our new performance advisor as part of his long-term partnership spanning Google Health, Google Pixel, and Google Cloud.
All right, well, good job, Steph. I hope that works out well in addition to all your other pretend jobs that you have, like the assistant GM or whatever at Davidson College, where you're definitely doing stuff. Yeah, I think you're a little busy.
You know what? He deserves it all. He's a very talented man. Anyway, bang!
Chase Underulo, Naked Racial, Sidney Crosby is Vampire, Chelsea's Cousin, Ginger Spurs Boy, Balls to the Walls, Mats Furley, and Utah Jash. Now, we talked about the internet with Steph and Google, but you know what else is a good thing that you could use on the internet?
Tab for a Cause, our sponsor.
Yes, Tab for a Cause. It's great. It's an extension that you throw onto your browser, and you can raise money for charity simply by opening tabs. Let's do our tab check, Adam. How many tabs are you rocking?
I will say in my defense that a great number of these are related to my 3-on-3. Having said that, 29 tabs.
Pretty high. I have 9, but 7 of them are for that actually happened.
That's a high number for you, too.
It is a high number for me. Oh my gosh. Kelly used my computer this morning. She's also a tab monster. She used it for 15 minutes, and there were 12 tabs open. How is that possible? It's almost a tab a minute. What are we doing here?
I don't know. How many folders you got on your desktop?
Oh, I love a folder. Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 folders.
That's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's messy. Yeah. Don't even ask.
Don't ask me about my downloads folder, though, where I put everything.
We all have our things. We
got our things. Don't ask me about my email inbox numbers either. But anyway, if you want to channel this chaos into good, you can get Tab for a Cause on your computer. Every time you open up a tab, you will see a pretty picture of a background, and you might see some ads in the corner, but those ads raise some money for charity, and you pick what charities they support. Pretty cool stuff. And you can sign up right now at tab4acause.org/horse. Super easy to set up, and you can start raising money for charity. So take your tab energy, turn it into good with Tab for a Cause.
Very cool.
Alrighty. So now, unless you're listening on Patreon, where you get access without inserted ads, it's time for some inserted ads. But once they're complete, we'll get back into this episode of Horse. Unless you're on Patreon, we're going to get on right to it.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thanks for meeting me here on such short notice. This place isn't bugged, is it?
Bugged? Wait, Jamie, what's going on?
It's just, you're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion. Do you see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah?
That's all I paid for it.
I think I need to get back to you on that.
Do you know what you want?
Yeah, I do now.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you've always wanted, plus America's best warranty at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. The guilt is real, but so is the savings.
Listen, I don't want to get in your business, but if that's all she paid for it, I'll have what she's having.
It's a great day for a new Hyundai at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on now. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Palisade, Santa Fe, and Santa Fe hybrid models. And check out our other great deals at your Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends September 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Adam, what do you got going on?
All right, so I don't have a lot of new stuff to promote, but I do want to thank a horse listener for showing up to my show in DC. I'm sorry that I didn't catch your name or retain it, but this is the second time actually that she's come out. She was one of the brave souls who came out to a show like the day after the election in Arlington, Virginia last year. And also, I came and went to Washington, DC and didn't get detained, so it feels like a win in that respect.
Yeah, do you only do shows in DC when it's incredibly risky?
You know what's funny? There were people after the show who were like, hey, what's going on? Like every time you come here, like something bad has happened. And I'm like, while I would love to take credit, you should know that things that are bad are happening really every day here. So anytime that I come to our nation's capital, at least until about 2028, bad things will be happening.
Just don't schedule a show in DC near the midterms, just to be safe.
Okay,
all right. Let's get some good vibes there.
But, yes, nice to see you. Thank you for coming out to the show. And I also got to. We didn't get to talk about this on the podcast, but I opened for Jon Stewart, which is like one of the coolest things ever.
Huge Knicks fan. Did you guys end up talking about the Knicks? That was my suggestion to you, and you texted me about this. Okay,
we did not. It was on my list, and I didn't get to it. But he's incredibly kind and hilarious and wonderful and everything that you would hope someone would be. And I got to do my first arena show. So that actually happened. How about that?
Very cool.
But in terms of stuff coming up, the only big things that I have in September, I will be at a venue in Wethersfield, Connecticut. That is the 12th and 13th of September. And then on the 20th, I will be at Steel Stacks, which is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'll probably have a couple casino shows with Dane Cook in October, but those aren't finalized yet. I will keep everybody posted on that, and then I will be in Denver in January of next year, and Fort Collins as well. And as always, I'm sure I'll add some other stuff, but not a lot of road stuff coming up, which frankly is kind of nice. What about you?
I still have the same things. Shout out to everyone who came through to my Missouri-based things, whether that was the St. Louis show, the stuff at Enchanticon, or the Kansas City show, or all three. But September, I've got two shows. Got the one in Providence, Rhode Island, where I'm covering the end of the Mark of Athena and live reading the big moment that I don't know what it is on stage. Not only am I going to be joined by Sequoia Simone, but new addition Stephen Parra will also be a guest for that show. And then Sherry's coming through and is going to help with the Q&A. So it's becoming like a big party. That show's also live stream though. So you don't have to attend it in person. You can go to thenewslympian.com/live and get tickets to the live stream. It comes with a 7-day replay. So if Saturday the 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern is not a good time or day for you, you can watch it at a time or day that works well for you. And then I'm also doing a show in Pittsburgh on September 28th. And then if you live in Manchester, United Kingdom, keep an eye out for a potential announcement about me maybe doing a show on September 19th. Kelly and I have a last minute travel thing that might send us to London, and I've never done a show in Manchester, which by my stats has more listeners than London. So I felt like if I was going to be there, I should try and do a show in the most popular British city for my shows. So keep an eye out. I'm currently figuring out everything with that, but we just learned of a potential trip there this morning.
Very
so
cool.
it's all rapidly developing, but
Nice.
at least just earmark it if you're in or near the UK. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and then other things to earmark is that we're looking to do a trip to Australia and New Zealand in November, and I would probably try to do some shows when I'm there as well. So if you are in that part of the world, just like keep an eye out for when I announce stuff. Biggest thing is just follow me / my podcasts on social media. That's the best way to know, like, as soon as I know stuff, that's where and where I post it.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait till like an episode comes out of something. You can just see it right then and there.
And if you work for the IRS and you're listening to this, that is why Mike is going to be declaring those trips. All right. Let's be honest.
What?
You got to write those off.
Oh, I always do. The best is like if I get invited to a wedding, it's like, let's book a show in this city for this weekend. And now this is a business expense.
It's
like
smart.
I love trying to make that happen. Alrighty, but that's what I got. Shall we now get into MB Q&A?
Yeah, so this is actually more of like an informative one than a question, but I thought it was fun. So we got a
NBA.
Yeah, I guess so. NB answers. This is from Brett. The subject is that actually happened. The Atlanta Krunk Wolverines, and the message is,
I have heard of this. Yeah.
So the message says, Mike's recent 3-on-3 of G League teams reminded me of a story of the Augusta Groove of the Premier Basketball League, who began their life as the Charlotte Krunk in the ABA in 2005 to 2006. They moved, and I got to look that up because what is the ABA?
It's not the old ABA. There's like a newer ABA.
And that says they moved to Atlanta shortly after, and for a while they played at the arena of Morris Brown College in Atlanta, HBCU, whose teams were the Wolverines. The team apparently bought the leftover jerseys the college had and became the Atlanta Krunk Wolverines for part of the 06-07 season. That's all I've been able to find so far, and most of it comes from Wikipedia and one old discussion on some website. But if there's a version of that logo out there somewhere, I have to find it. That has become our new mission for us to figure out where that is. We must be able to find it somewhere. But Brett, thank you for a great email there.
I feel like somehow this came up on a really old episode of Force. I don't know if we did old defunct team names way back in the day, or if there was like some other that actually happened I was doing or came up, but like
it's definitely come up because I have heard it.
Yeah, Krunk Wolverines has come up at some point in time. I may have done maybe we did a 3-on-3 about like best previous team names, like as opposed to like defunct G League or whatever. It might have been like, like the Utah Jazz used to be the New Orleans Jazz, and that was a better name. Like we may have done that at some point, but yeah, Krunk Wolverines, wild
From
stuff.
the windows to the wall, all my females howl.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Krunk Wolverines, baby. Amazing. Great.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great NBA fun fact.
It's awesome. It reminds me of I don't know if you saw the John Oliver thing where he like rebranded a minor league baseball team to the Moon Mammoths. I feel like Krunk Wolverines is very much in that vein.
Yeah, I love minor league baseball teams doing the thing where it's like, oh yeah, the Trenton Thunder for a week or the Trenton Pork Rolls, like yes,
or the Staten Island Pizza Rats.
Sure, love it.
Yeah.
I wish NBA teams would be something fun for a week. That would be great.
I would agree.
Yeah, or even if the Knicks like wore Knickerbockers for a week, that could be fun.
That could be
very fun. And then we could
fun.
see if their stats are better.
They should wear wool.
They probably did in the original.
They probably did, yeah.
Naismith was out here wearing suits. Yeah, probably. Alrighty. But let's get into Full Court Press. Get it? Like the news?
Yeah, and there is some news. I would say it's not as newsy of a time as usual, but there's some stuff going on, mostly WNBA.
Correct. So yes, the WNBA season rages on. The playoffs inch ever closer. The trade deadline is complete. Moves were made. Splashes happened. My beloved Seattle Storm went on a terribly bad run, but we're not going to talk about it because instead, Sue Bird got a statue. That was cool. Yeah. Sue Bird, bird noises. She ended up.
And a good statue, right?
Oh my God, incredible. I love that all of the comments are like, this is great. Someone tell Dwayne Wade. It's really good.
Yeah.
It looks just like her. It's her doing her iconic like scoop layup, which makes sense because after the Storm retired her number and like the year after she retired, they put like a Sue Bird making a layup graphic on the court, much like the Mavericks did of Dirk's fadeaway on the court after he retired. So made sense that would be it. The actual statue itself looks just like her, looks great. The only thing that I do find funny is that like they put her, this is just like me being a super basketball nerd, they put her in a more like the current version of the Storm jersey, but then the shoes she's wearing are like an older Nike.
You found a continuity
from like her more classic time. Yeah. But like I get it, especially because some of the older Storm jerseys, like from Sue's prime in like the mid early 2010s. I mean, God, she had such a long prime, but like when I think a lot of people think of like mid to late 2010s Sue Bird, like the 2018 championship Sue Bird, that was from an era of the WNBA where there were like ads all over the jersey and the actual logo for the Storm was rather small. And then once the 25th anniversary happened, like I think the 2020 season or the 2019 season is when they like had like, hey, we're getting cool looking jerseys again, and we'll put sponsors elsewhere. That is more representative because it says Storm really big, but Sue only played in that jersey for like 4 years, so it's not like as iconic. But I understand why they did it.
Sure.
But aside from this tiny minor detail that no one will notice, except for me because I'm a nerd, the statue looks great. The unveiling was fun. And I like that they've kind of done like Sue stuff every year after she's retired. Like she had the farewell speech. She had the thing on the court. They had the jersey retirement. They named the street where the arena is, like Sue Bird Court or something like that. And then now they have this. So they've done a very good job of being like Sue every year to distract us from her team not being as good. But yeah, that happened. That was good. Much better than our like 6-game losing streak where it was like record setting. It was like we lost 6 games in a row by a combined 17 points.
Yeah,
something just excruciating. But good stuff happening as well.
Yeah. So we talked about the Paige Beckers explosion game, which I mean, listen, obviously she's still a rookie, but like I think she's got to be one of, if not the best WNBA players at like creating her own shot. It's hard for me to imagine who else is in that category even.
She's fantastic. I mean, she's really proving to be an offensive powerhouse. The assist numbers are good as well. The rebounding numbers are great as well. But yes, she's very much living up to the hype. She's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, despite there being some rumblings for some other players. But
what's her name on the Mystics has been incredible.
Yes, that's like the big thing is there was some report that it was like, oh, some people in the Mystics believe that, that Sonia Citron has been screwed out of Rookie of the Year because they want Paige to win.
Dude,
there was something where it was like...
There was a game where she went off recently, and she's very smooth.
She's very good. And there was something where it was like, I don't know if it was the WNBA social media account or like the stats. There was something where like Paige's turnover stats were not posted, and that's like the biggest knock on her compared to Sonia. And it's like, okay, sure, yeah. But I think they're both fantastic. Dominique Malonga on My Beloved Seattle Storm has also proven to be very good, but she didn't get a lot of playing time early in the year because of her international playing. She's French. Her international playing, like she came straight off of playing a bunch, so they kind of eased her into the season. But now if you look at her per 36 numbers, so if you like take her numbers and average it out over if she played 36 minutes, her numbers are ridiculous. Same thing if you look at her like per 100 possession numbers. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, the only other person who's ever done this is Lisa Leslie, and you're like, oh, Lisa Leslie, okay. So and she's the youngest person in the league because unlike America where you got to go through at least 3 years in college, so a lot of these people are entering the league at age 21 or 22. She entered at age 19. So if you look at the, stats of best 19-year-olds to ever do this, it's like her and some other international people, and she's playing incredibly well. So that's cool. And she can dunk, which is fun. She can dunk.
Cool. Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, Paige is rocking the league. Sonia is also rocking the league. It's good. There's a lot of fun, new energy into the W, and I think that's good for new fans coming in.
Yeah. There was one, I guess, negative thing just because it's an injury, obviously, and a season-ending injury, which is, of course, a bummer, which is that Sophie Cunningham is now out for the season with a torn MCL, which, according to her, at least, is like, if you're going to hurt your knee, you'd rather it's that than like an ACL or a meniscus, but obviously still a bummer and certainly a big blow to the Fever, who have also been dealing with Caitlin Clark being injured on and off for most of the year. There was some discourse around like, was it a dirty play? Bria Hartley is the person who fell into her and has somewhat of a reputation as being like a Draymond-esque sort of player who's just involved in things that people feel some type of way about or whatever. There was also a photo of her like seemingly smiling after the play, but we looked it up before we started recording, and according to what you said, Cunningham has come out and been like, I don't think there's anything dirty about it. So like, if she's cool with it, I don't think anybody else needs to be getting upset on her behalf.
Right. People are mad about the photo where it looks like she's smiling at it, but I would hope that that's just like perfectly ill-timed photo where it looks like she's smiling.
It is weird.
Right. But like, I would hope it's just like, I don't know.
Maybe she thought of a really funny meme she had seen earlier that day at that exact moment that she hit the ground.
Oh,
who can say?
Yeah. Or like she couldn't tell she was injured, so she was smiling about like the play going well. And then it was like, oh, wait, she's hurt. Who knows? But other WNBA stuff. Did you hear about what's going on with the Connecticut Sun sale?
No. What's the deal?
So we had talked about this, I believe, in a previous episode, that the Connecticut Sun were getting purchased by one of the minority owners of the Boston Celtics. And it was this record-setting sale. It's going to be $325 million sale. However, the WNBA is like stepping in and they're not letting it exactly go through because the news was broke of the deal, and then a statement from the league stated, quote, relocation decisions are made by the WNBA Board of Governors and not by individual teams. They went on to say that cities have already gone through the expansion process. They went on to say that cities that have already gone through the expansion process have priority over Boston, which did not submit an expansion bid in any of the 3 recent expansion rounds over the past 3 years. So because there's been no traction on like Boston trying to get a WNBA team before, the WNBA is like, well, it's not fair. There's cities who have been trying and we haven't awarded them. So why would we let Boston have a team just because a guy from Boston bought them and wants to move them over to Boston?
Agree with that, though. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I get it. But also, if you do move the team from Connecticut to Boston, it is so close that like the existing Connecticut Sun fans don't have to travel that far. Like it would suck if they got relocated to Austin, Texas, or Oakland. Not that they'll get a team now that they have the Valkyries, but like those are other cities that tried to get expansion teams in the past. So I think that would kind of stink. So I think they're still trying to figure out what's going on, but there are proposals made to the league from the ownership group of the Sun, which is the Mohegan Sun tribe. And some of their options include, according to this ESPN reporting, a full franchise sale to the Boston guys group, a sale to a group headlined by former Milwaukee Bucks owner Mark Lazary, who would move the team to Hartford, Connecticut. So I guess like not as big enough of a move to consider it as a relocation, and then that keeps them in Connecticut, puts them in a big city, or selling a minority stake in the organization, or final option, allowing the league to purchase the franchise for $325 million and then relocate it afterwards. So the ownership group is frustrated. They feel like they are, screwing them out of like what was a good deal for them. And also apparently like recently the league had offered to purchase them for only $250 million. I don't know. There's lots of different like question marks around it. There's also this whole thing of like, hold on, WNBA, aren't you currently negotiating with the players about how you can't pay them enough money? And now you're going to buy a team for $250 million at least? So that was a point that Jordan Liggins brought up on her Instagram account. So it's interesting. It's at least like not this surefire done deal that we thought it was. And we'll just kind of have to see how it continues. But we can link this ESPN article that we have here that was written like 3 days ago. So obviously this is still a developing story, but I don't know. We'll have to see what's going on.
I mean, ultimately, I do think that a team in Boston will be a good thing for the sport, however it ends up happening.
Yes, I think that is good for the sport. I think it works for the Sun to not be too far away. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm sure the league has some sort of reason why they are being sticklers about this.
But other than that, anything else?
That's all. I mean, you just have Michael Porter Jr., like the only NBA thing. Michael Porter Jr. has been, I don't know if he's Twitch streaming or podcasting, but he's been like saying wild stuff where he keeps like dunking on his brother for being addicted to gambling. And then he's saying things like, oh, gambling was never my vice. My vice was always women. And it's like, okay, bud. Cool. I don't know. It's a funny way to be like, my brother's a loser and he
but
like,
I'm
is
a loser
bad with money.
Differently.
I'm super cool and I have sex a lot. Like, I don't know.
Now that's
it's like
an episode title.
It's like the cool guy version of my biggest weakness is that I try too hard. It's like, my biggest vice is that I just can't stop hooking up with ladies. Hey. But yeah, really cold on the NBA front, hot on the WNBA front. Good time, as always, though, to be a big basketball fan.
Absolutely.
WNBA, real fun. Playoffs will be real fun.
There's always basketball being played somewhere, and that's a wonderful thing.
It's wonderful indeed. Now, with that complete, we can get into your 3 on 3.
1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. 3 on 3.
Let's do it. For this episode's 3 on 3, it's time for some roast beef debris because we're talking about food, baby, and not just any old food, the best kind of food, free food. So we've talked about Kosh Report a number of times on Horse, but to refresh your memory, it is a YouTube channel that posts the compilation videos of escalating basketball content, always with a title that's something like mic'd up moments, but they get increasingly more hilarious. It's an awesome format. I have spent way too many hours of my life consuming this content. But recently, Kosh Report posted a video titled "Crowds Getting Free Food, but They Lose Their Minds Increasingly More," which is not great grammar, but it is a pretty epic video. And using that footage and also doing an immersive NBA Reddit deep dive, I proudly present the 3 best and 3 worst free food giveaways at NBA games.
This is great. I love this. This is a fun part of basketball games, NBA or WNBA. I was just at a Liberty game, and they did if the other team misses 2 free throws in the fourth quarter, you get food thing. It did not come to fruition, but those Thunder Sticks came out in the fourth quarter, and they were trying to distract the other team. The Minnesota Lynx. It fun.
Has that added effect of, So for some context, free giveaways are a very common thing at sporting events in general, whether it's a t-shirt cannon, a bobblehead before the game, or in this case, free food if a certain thing happens. I specifically remember this from when I was a kid and the Bulls used to give away free tacos if they scored more than 100 points, which in the modern NBA would happen every single game, but in those days was more of a rare feat. And Bulls sharpshooter Toni Kukoc was the player to get them over the 100-point threshold so many times that they started calling him Taco Tony, and it was hilarious. Nowadays, as you just alluded to, the most common format seems to be free food if an opposing player misses 2 free throws. Generally, it's only in the fourth quarter. There's a couple teams that do it like throughout the whole game, but it's usually a fourth quarter thing. It's very fun and also very smart because people get very locked in, but it can also genuinely help the home team because the fans are so noisy when the other team is shooting free throws, especially if they miss the first one, that I do feel like it would be very interesting to look up the statistics of opposing free throw shooters in arenas where there's a promotion if they miss both free throws. That would be, I don't know how I could figure that out, but I'll.
I mean, you just have to go through all this stuff. I mean, there have been deep dives like on Pablo Torre Finds Out, which is a great sports investigative journalism podcast and YouTube show. They did something about these things and trying to figure out, like, has Giannis been missing them on purpose to get free Chick-fil-A for the crowd and stuff? And there was some stats where it was comparing things like that. But yeah, if this 3-on-3 interests you, definitely check that out. It's like another huge deep dive.
Yeah. Well, and to tease it a little bit, there is a moment where a player seemingly misses on purpose to make the fans happy. You might know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know exactly. It's a perfect moment.
But yeah, it's a funny thing because I've also been at games where this happens and it actually comes to fruition and everyone gets like a coupon or whatever. And people get so excited and very few people ever redeem it.
Yeah, it's something that, like, I don't think it's happened in a game that I've been to since, but when I lived in Houston, there was some sort of Rockets one. I think it was a point minimum. Like, if the Rockets score over X points, bring your physical ticket to McDonald's and get a Big Mac. And I definitely did it because it's easy. But like now it's like, even if we won, I had to ask my buddy Jeffrey, who I went to the Liberty game. It was like, you get free Shake Shack if it happens. And I was like, what do you do? Like, do you just show like the QR code? Do you just say it was at the game? Like, what would happen? Because like he had the tickets on his phone for both of us. So I'm like, do you send me a screenshot and then do I go to Shake Shack? Like, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, this brings me no great joy to bring this up, but baseball reference, the Milwaukee Brewers have been on like an all-time heater. And there's a burger place called George Webb, I guess in Wisconsin, that had some promotion that was like, if the Brewers win 12 games in a row, which is like statistically very unlikely.
Yeah.
Everyone gets free burgers for like a whole day. And I'm sure they took out some sort of insurance policy of like, this probably won't happen, but if it does, we need some extra funds. But yeah, they gave away like, I don't know, 100,000 cheeseburgers or something like that. Because the Brewers won, I think, 14 straight, much to my chagrin.
Yeah, 14 straight.
But anyway, so my list here is mostly based on just like my judgment of how much I like the particular food item or how much bang for your lack of a buck you're getting.
How much bang for your buck.
There you go. I should also mention that some of these are deals that definitely don't exist anymore, but span the last like 15 to 20 years. But let's get started with the 3 worst free food giveaways. The third worst giveaway belongs to the Portland Trailblazers, who give away free McDonald's nuggets when the Blazers score 100 points. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, and McNuggets are good. But this one lands on my worst list for several reasons. First, you can apparently only redeem them in the McDonald's app, which I find annoying. I don't want more apps.
I hate that.
Just give me a voucher or a code or something I can use in the restaurant.
The worst version, have you seen when like Kroger grocery stores do this?
Mm-mm.
Where there will be like one like daily digital deal, and it's always insane. It's always like grapes for 99 cents a pound, or it'll be like avocados are a quarter. Like it's always an insane deal, so that you always go like, holy shit. And then you do it, and you go to checkout, and it's like, wait, why are those like the regular price? It's like, oh, you have to download the Kroger app and do the digital deal. And it's just like, come on. Like it's this huge font that's like, grapes are cheap. And then tiny little font that's like, if you have the app. I hate it. I hate it.
I do like grapes though.
I do too.
You more of a red or a green guy?
Oh, only red. Only red.
Where do you stand on cotton candy grapes? Have you ever had those?
Overrated, more expensive than they're worth. And if your grapes have seeds in them, get out of here. I buy grapes so that I'm not doing work. If I wanted to do work, I would buy cherries.
That in the year of our Lord 2025, there are still seeded grapes floating around.
Awful. The worst is when you don't think they're seeded, and then you take one bite and you're like, good, I've bought an entire bag of sadness.
Yeah, I've bought a project.
Now I got to have a cup in here like I'm spitting sunflower seeds. What am I doing?
But I like cherries. Cherries also make
I do too, but at least I know what I'm getting.
Sure,
like,
that's true.
I'm buying cherries. I know. I got pits to deal with.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Now, according to the Reddit user who posted about this, they used to give away a free Taco Bell chalupa and then changed it to McNuggets. And that's a bummer because to me, the chalupa is a far superior item.
The chalupa's great. Love a chalupa. That's my favorite item on the Taco Bell menu. First time I went to an actual Mexican restaurant in Texas, they had chalupas on the menu, and I was like, yes! And it was, let me tell you, folks, real chalupas are not Taco Bell chalupas. They are very
Taco
different.
Bell is not real Mexican food. So.
Sure, but it's not even like the same. Have you ever had a real chalupa?
No,
it's like you just take a corn tortilla and you fry it so it's like crispy but flat, and then you put stuff on top of it. So it's almost like a flatbread taco situation.
Like a tostada almost.
It's good, but I will say, and maybe it's just because I've never been like explained how to eat it properly, but like it's tricky to eat because you kind of like eat it and it crunches and falls all apart.
Yeah.
But like the chalupa, the Taco Bell chalupa, like the flaky, wider taco thing, man, I don't care if it's pretend, it's fantastic.
I could not agree more. I will say, though, in defense of the McNuggets, there's a quote from this Reddit user who says, it is especially satisfying when you blaze the nugs, turning the nuggets into McNuggets with a quickness. So, incredible statement, and our apologies to producer level patron Lisa Hill, aka Denver Steam Nuggets. So, apparently, if you beat the Denver Nuggets and get nuggets as a reward, it's extra fun. So I get that. I do get it. All right. At number 2, this one is egregious because it's not even free food. It's discounted food. And that's bullshit.
Hate that.
The Miami Heat give you a promo code for 50% off Papa John's pizza the day after a Heat victory. Not only is that
awful.
BS, but Papa John's is trash.
Terrible.
Better ingredients, better pizza feels like a bit, honestly. Granted, I'm lucky enough to live in New York City, home to the greatest pizza in the world. But even in Miami, there has to be better pizza than Papa John's. I feel like Florida has like good Italian food and pizza because there's so many New Jersey, New York transplants down there.
Yeah, that's wild.
But like even Domino's is better than Papa John's. And also John Schnatter, the founder, former CEO, and former face of Papa John's.
Is a terrible person.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. Yeah, even Domino's is better than Papa John's, and John Schnatter, the founder, former CEO, and former face of Papa John's, is a terrible human being. To refresh your memory, in 2017, he was pressured to step down as CEO after he attributed his company's poor pizza sales to the NFL's national anthem protests, which is such a wild connection to make.
I'm so angry about Colin Kaepernick. I won't order pizza.
And then after stepping down as CEO, he remained on the company's board until 2018. And I'm just going to read this direct from Wikipedia because it's too absurd to paraphrase. In July 2018, Schnatter participated in an internal training conference call with marketing consultants in which there was a role-playing exercise to help Schnatter avoid making remarks that could cause public controversy and damage the company's reputation. So this is like post his NFL comments. They're trying to mitigate.
And this is specifically a training to not say bad stuff.
Yes, this is like a sensitivity training. And during the conference call, Schnatter said, direct quote, Colonel Sanders called blacks, and then he says the N-word, and Sanders never faced public outcry. This is what he's saying on a call with marketing people. After the call, the marketing agency's owner moved to end its contract with Papa John's. Good call. But anyway, yeah, he sucks, and so does his shitty pizza and its congealed garlic dipping sauce, which is disgusting. I hate it.
Awful. Not about
Awful
it.
person.
Don't understand why there's
Terrible
places.
ingredients, terrible people, terrible pizza, Papa John's. At number 1, I was actively furious about this one. There is footage of this in the Kosh Report compilation that we will, of course, post a link to. But the 76ers did a contest where a fan had to hit a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot in 45 seconds, which is extremely hard.
Yeah.
The guy did it. Hitting the half-court shot on his first attempt as the buzzer sounded. The crowd went wild. All for, drumroll please, a free chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A. This guy pulled up, no, not one, but like everyone in the crowd got one.
Oh,
but like
everyone
this
in the
guy
crowd
pulled
got
off something so hard, and that was the big payoff. Like I want to believe that he got something individually, and I'll try to look into it and see if he did, because he seems very excited, but it might just be that like he hit a half-court shot and everybody went wild. But if the only thing that was the prize for something that impressive was that a bunch of other people got a chicken biscuit, that's so bad.
Since he won 18,000 chicken biscuits for the crowd, he should also get 18,000 chicken biscuits. Like he should get lifetime chicken biscuit coupon.
Also, and it goes without saying that Chick-fil-A is maybe not the best company in terms of their views on things, but like it's Philly. At least do like a Wawa partnership. Why are we doing a Chick-fil-A thing?
Right. Give me cheesesteaks. Give me Wawa. Give me anything.
Hoagies and
Rolling
Rock. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get to the good list. Now we're on to the fun stuff. At number 3, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, who give fans free wings from Wingstop if an opposing player misses 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Now you alluded to this, I think, earlier, but there's footage of this happening during a Bucks blowout. And Giannis, I don't know if it's his own phone or if he like borrows one from someone, but he runs to get his phone to scan the QR code on the Jumbotron so that he can also get his free wings, which of course he needs because he doesn't make enough money. It's very, very funny. There's also a number of teams who give away either free chicken nuggets or chicken sandwiches at games. For whatever reason, this seems to be like the most common giveaway. And some honorable mentions of this format include the Clippers, who apparently play a loud moo sound effect to commemorate the Chick-fil-A giveaway when it happens. There's also footage of Anthony Edwards getting extremely amped about free chicken. There's an amazing clip of Boban. This is what I was talking about. What is his last name? It's like Marjanovic? Boban Marjanovic, who's a literal giant and also a very funny person. But what's interesting is he's playing for the Rockets. They're playing at the Clippers stadium.
Where he used to play.
And
that's where he got like his first
favorite.
kind of like big, right.
But the Rockets are only up 8 with like 5 minutes left in the fourth. And he, unless I misinterpreted it, misses the first free throw. Everyone gets really excited. He's like egging on the crowd and like amping people up, and then misses the second one horribly in a way that felt like he was just like missing it to give everybody free food, and then like celebrates and runs down the court, which like if they were up by 30 points I could understand it more, but it's very funny to me that he did it in a reasonably close game in the fourth quarter. So the 76ers I guess also did this as well, and they called it brickin' for chicken, which is fun. And at one point, there's a clip in the Kosh Report video of them losing their marbles when their former player, Ben Simmons, notably horrible free throw shooter, bricks 2 free throws in a game against the Nets. And it feels like they just won the finals. Like it's that level of excitement. At number 2, and I don't know if you've ever seen this, we have a frozen yogurt giveaway from a Timberwolves game that inspired a Reddit post called Tibbs Wants Yogurt. Have you seen this?
Oh, no.
So this is a Clippers-Wolves game from the day and age where Tom Thibodeau was coaching the Wolves, and the Wolves were running a promotion that if an opposing player missed 2 free throws, everyone won free frozen yogurt. I don't know from where, but I like frozen yogurt. Towards the end of the game, notoriously horrible free throw shooter DeAndre Jordan goes to the line and clanks the first free throw. He then, to everyone's shock and dismay, hits the second one, and according to this Reddit post, screams, "No fucking free ice cream" at the crowd, which is hilarious.
That's good. That's what I would yell. I would yell.
Yeah.
I would do that.
And then I'm assuming the Tibbs video is highly edited, but there's this like 20-second video of Tibbs being very intense on the sidelines and like in the huddle. And then he just looks like genuinely distraught that there's no free yogurt. Again, I'm sure it had nothing to do with the yogurt, but
no,
it's like,
he was mad about the game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's cut together in a way that it just seems like he's like forlorn about not getting yogurt. But
so good.
The winner is, in my opinion, one of the great fast food items that exists for those of us with a sweet tooth. The iconic Wendy's Frosty. Now, this was another promotion at a 76ers game, and in the Kosh Report compilation video, there's footage from a Nets-Sixers playoff game, I believe in 2019, where seldom used Trevion Graham of the Nets is at the free throw line. He misses the first free throw, and then Kevin Harlan, one of the great commentators of all time, understanding the stakes of the Frosty, says, direct quote, "They can taste it, they can feel it, they can see it." He then misses. "Oh, they got it! It's a Frosty for everybody. Slurp it and enjoy it."
I love Kevin Harlan.
I love him so much.
A legend.
His voice is so iconic that I'm also going to play the audio to round out this 3-on-3. So on that note, please enjoy the smooth tones of the one and only Kevin Harlan.
Uh-oh. They can taste it. Yes, they can feel it. They can see it. Oh, they got it! It's a Frosty for everybody! Slurp it and enjoy it.
So funny. So funny.
But that's my 3-on-3, and let's get on to your That Actually Happened.
That's great. What a fun 3-on-3. That's really good. Love it. And here's hoping we'll win free food at a future sporting event.
Oh, yeah.
That actually happened. This is something that is also very fun. There was a lot of news about it in the 2010 era when it came out, but did you know that there was an official study done by researchers at UC Berkeley linking the amount of times NBA players touch each other during the games, like high fives and pats on the back and stuff? They linked that to success on the court.
I didn't know that. It doesn't surprise me, but that's a very interesting study. And I guess the general thesis is like positive reinforcement makes people perform better.
Yes, basically. So the study was titled Tactile Communication, Cooperation, and Performance, an Ethological Study of the NBA by Michael W. Krause, Cassie Huang, and Dr. Kiltner from the University of California, Berkeley. Basically, yeah, their research that they set out to do was we're going to see if there is a correlation between, being a good teammate and doing positive reinforcement and touching and stuff, and see if that yields good performance. So they did a study where they coded the touch behavior of players from the NBA during the 08-09 season. And they basically did an early game for each team and then tracked how many times teammates did something that was considered as like good cooperation. So it would be things like giving each other high fives or like helping each other out, like help defense or passing to someone who's open, not taking a shot when you're highly defended, stuff like that.
Did they have like a mechanism for recording this? Like, did they do it manually?
Yes, I think they just like watched the games, got a bunch of footage because it took them like an entire year just to look at one game for every
tedious
team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did one game for each team. They did all this research. And then with the game that was early in the season for all 30 teams, they like mapped out like purely based on these interactions. Here's who we think will be good. And they didn't just want it to be a thing of like, oh, well, the good teams are going to be good, etc. So they like course corrected and adjusted the predictions to factor in things like team prediction in terms of like what Vegas predicted them to be, previous season's winning records, stuff like that. So they tried to like factor that in as much as possible to it. And basically what they found was, even when you factor in expectations and stuff, the teams that touch the most are good. So there was this whole big study. Henry Abbott, who we had on Horse in 2010, wrote an ESPN article kind of documenting this. And here is something that was also written about in the New York Times about it. The team was led by Michael W. Krause, and they coded every bump, hug, and high five in a single game. And they ended up predicting that the Lakers and the Celtics would be some of the best teams, and they were the best teams in 2009. And then they'd predicted that the Kings and the Bobcats would be the worst, and then they were two of the worst teams. They did this not only for teams, but also players. So they found that Kevin Garnett and Chris Bosh were the two touchiest players in the league, followed by Carlos Boozer of the Utah Jazz. And those at the time were some of the best players in the league. And yeah, they factored in all these different things. They looked in the ratio of assists to turnovers and anything else that could be considered like being a good teammate. And even when you account for the performance, they found that the players that like had the best on-court vibes ended up being the best teams.
It's interesting, and I wonder how people reacted to this study, because like, in some ways, I feel like it's somewhat misleading, because if you're on a good team and your team's doing well, by virtue of that, there's going to be more high-fiving. Like, think of when we play softball. Like, if we're getting blown out, there's not a lot of like running down the line, giving everyone a high five, because people are not in a good mood. So like, obviously there are other components to this, but it's, I don't want to say it's not a valid hypothesis to draw, but I feel like it's, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is exactly the thought that I had. And even the researchers admit that like they could not find an exact correlation between it. You know, even though their predictions were correct, it's hard to say that they exactly found that, like, you know, it's the correlation versus causation thing where it's like you can't like do an exact one-to-one, because yes, even though you were trying to account for on-court success, like on-court success does yield more of these good interactions. I think it's good that they factored in some of these other things like passing to open teammates, doing help defense and stuff like that into their calculus. But yeah, you're 1,000% right. Like if you're playing well, you're going to high five a lot. And if you're on the Charlotte Bobcats, you're not going to high five a lot. So I get it. I think it's kind of one of those things of like, yeah, it's probably true. We can't say it 100% definitively, but you know, it seems legit.
I want to know if they referenced the my favorite clip maybe ever in NBA history, where Michael Beasley starts rubbing his teammate's leg, and then you can see him say, "Oh, my bad. I thought that was my knee."
I believe that happened afterwards, but that would be great. But at least like Henry Abbott and his mistake. At least I think because you're icing your knees a lot, so they're like you're used to them being numb. But Henry Abbott in his article talked about how, you know, there's this iconic clip of in the first game of Magic Johnson's career on the Lakers, Kareem hits a game winner as a hook shot, and then he just hugs Kareem for like 30 seconds.
That's cool.
And Kareem has gone on record to say that Magic's vigor and enthusiasm for the game like really kept him going and kind of like refreshed the later end of his career. He also cited an example where Tim Duncan kind of like cheered up a college teammate when he was, you know, in a really like down part in a game, and he was like staring at the floor, and Tim Duncan kind of like gingerly raised his chin up, like grabbing him to be like, "Hey man, you know, like listen to coach, let's go." So Henry Abbott actually wrote like this really nice thing, especially because in like 2010, this was like a big time for like, oh, you're touching a dude, like that's gay, man. And like his whole article is kind of like, look, the science is out there, so like who cares, you know, don't be shy.
Well, I always think about it the most like after speaking of my 3-on-3, like after a player misses their first free throw attempt, you'll still see a lot of like high fives or like a pat on the butt. And I always wonder, like, would that be, when I've played basketball, if I miss the first free throw, do I want that or do I not? Meaning, like, am I annoyed at myself and I'm like, don't give me a high five because I just missed? Or do you take it more as like, oh, they're encouraging me and saying like, hey, don't worry about that first one, like go hit the second one?
Yeah, I feel like in the NBA now, people just kind of like high five after every single one so that it's, yeah, you did it if you made it. And hey, you got this if you didn't. I'm also sure players are superstitious. So yeah, hard to know in the moment. I feel like I would want the high fives of encouragement.
Yeah.
I would want the like, hey, let's go.
I tell you what's also really interesting about that study is thinking about what happened 10 years later, which of course was the pandemic, where we all in our own ways figured out pretty quickly that like not being able to have physical contact with people really fucks with your like mental well-being. Yeah. And I feel like what like kind of coming out of the pandemic, just like the first time you would see someone after whatever amount of time and like be able to give them a hug felt like such a big deal. And I'm sure during that bubble season, obviously it was a little different because they were all like quarantined there, but it must have been very odd, that feeling of like, oh, we're not a unit now. We're sitting in chairs 6 feet from each other and we're not supposed to like have the same kind of contact that we usually do.
Yeah, I'm sure it threw them for a loop. So this research article came out. People talked about it. It was fun. And then it resurfaced during the later portion of the Phoenix Suns Steve Nash era because the Suns had an intern named Jess track every single time Steve Nash high-fived someone during a game. And there was this whole thing of like, Steve Nash is the most prolific high-fiver in the league. Is he a key to the success? And I don't think they did like necessarily a deep study in terms of like Steve Nash versus other people. But I remember when this like first came out and there were statistics of all about Steve Nash's interactions with the players on the court. Do you have a guess of how many times per game Steve Nash high-fived people?
So if he's known as a prolific high fiver,
yes,
I guess I feel like it's going to be higher than I would expect. I'm going to say like 30 times a game.
239 times a game.
How?
I mean, think about it.
He's like the Wilt Chamberlain of sex of high fives.
I mean, think about it. 48 minutes. How many shots are put up in a game?
Right.
And you're high-fiving like at least one person every made basket.
Well, that begs the question, what's an average amount?
I am not sure. But
also, that intern, please tell me it wasn't an unpaid internship. That's a wild.
In the video, he's telling one of the players what he's doing, and they go, "You're tracking how many times?" Because it's also like butt touches and stuff. And it's like, "You're tracking how many times Steve Nash is touching people's backside?" And he goes, "Look, it's a job they're paying me to do." So at least it's a paid internship.
Can we get that person on the podcast?
Let's see if we can get Jess the intern from the whatever year Suns team it was.
Amazing.
But yeah, I mean, 239. You got to do like every made basket. Then you're high-fiving everyone at the start and end of each timeout, right? Like you're coming to the bench, you're high-fiving everybody on the way there, getting back onto the court, high-fiving people on the way out. Like I get it. 239 though. Quite a lot. They asked a bunch of players in this video to guess, and everyone was guessing stuff in that range of like 30, 50 or whatever. I think the highest someone guessed was 80.
And now on FanDuel, you can use promo code NASH to bet the over-under of high fives during the...
Yeah, the intern also did the stats of like he high-fived Amari Stoudemire the most and then asked him, how do you feel about this? It's a really fun video that we will obviously link to. But yeah, I just thought this was a fun study. I remember when it came out, it was really fun. And then the Nash like follow-up because this research article came out and everyone's like, well, Steve Nash high-fives all the time. Let's look deeper into the Steve Nash of it. And I just think it's fun and it's good. And I'm always in support of being like a very like, let's go. Hey, come on, teammate. I've always been that, whether it's like tennis, basketball, our softball teams, whatever. Like I'm always trying to hype up our fellow teammates. And like, yes, does sometimes it get people being like grumpy and yelling at me like, nah, because I'm being like too optimistic, but I'll take it because I'm always trying to cheer people up. So I'm glad to know, and I'm backed by science to know that being a good vibes person produces good performance on the court. That study took place and that actually happened.
Very cool. No, I feel like you and I are similar that way. Like having played enough sports with you where like you and I will be hard on ourselves in a way that we would never treat a teammate.
Oh, 100%. Like I'm always telling people like get him next time, any positivity you can find in and out on the softball field. It's like, oh, you made good contact. You just hit it right at this person. Or like
the only thing that makes me angry is like a lack of effort or someone just like not being aware of a situation.
Correct. The only times I've actively been angry at teammates is like, even if someone makes an error on a play that I think they should have made, I will not get angry at them. The only times I get angry are lack of effort or lack of like understanding of the rules, because that's just like, that's like a mental lazy error to me. And then, gosh, I feel like there was something else I was going to say.
Well, I'll get mad at them if they're being a bad teammate. Like we've talked about AJ many times. Like you don't want that person.
Right. But like the only times I've ever like, you know, been negative to a teammate is if it's like, sorry. The other thing was being selfish. So like there have been times where there's a guy on our team, or not on our team anymore, but like Rob sometimes when he's like 3-0 an account would like swing at a bad pitch that was going to be ball 4 because he doesn't want to walk. He would rather try and hit a home run. And it's like, I get it. It's rec softball, but like, dude, we're in the competitive league. Like we are trying to win a game. So like, I know you want to get a big hit.
And also when there's 2 outs and they're playing thousands of feet back, you are allowed to just hit a single because we need that.
Right. So like if it's selfish, I get it. I yelled at Mitch one time for not running out a ball that like it was a pop up and he didn't run it out, and then the person dropped it and still had enough time to throw him out at first base. And it's like, dude, if you would have run, you would have been safe by a mile. If you would have been on third. Yeah, like if you would have jogged, you would have been safe. And then if you like don't know the rules of the sport, or you forget, or you make like a really boneheaded, like you forget how many outs there are, that's like, all right, come on. Like let's all just pay attention here. Other than that, I'm good vibes, positive all around. Even if it means people on our team yell at me for being too positive. That's okay. I'll be the Steve Nash. I'll keep high-fiving. Thanks for listening to this episode of Horror Sources, hosted by Anima Moala and Mike Schubert. Our editor is Kenzie Suramaki. The music is by Bettina Cambabanes. The art's by Alison Wakeman. The website is by Kelly Schubert. And the social media is by both of the Horse Boys.
Thank you to our producer-level patrons, Polly Burge, Salvatore Testa, Siobhan Ellsbury, Don't Go Chasing Taco Falls, Bang, Bang, Roast Beef Debris, Denver Steam Nuggets, Anna Reed, Steph Curry for Google.
Bing!
Oh, very good. Nice. Chase Underulo, Naked Rachel, Sidney Crosby as a Vampire, Chelsea's Cousin, Ginger Spurs Boy, Balls to the Walls, Mats Furli, and Utah Jash. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Horse Hoops and on Twitter at Horse_Hoops because
Horse Hoops was the person behind the idea of let's give them 50% off of Papa John's instead of free something better.
You're better than that. You're better than that. Horse Hoops tweeted something about Colonel Sanders, and they got ousted, rightfully so. You can go to our website, horsehoops.com, for links to the many fun things we talked about today, including the incredible Kosh Report video of increasing joy over free food items.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to support the Horse Boys, you can go to patreon.com/horsehoops, get access to a bunch of cool stuff, episodes without inserted ads, early release episodes, bonus stuff. You can also go to horsehoops.com/merch, and you can get Sup Nerds It's Basketball shirts or digital items like wallpapers and ringtones and stuff like that. But we're going to put our hands in the middle and say something on the count of 3, as we always do. What are we feeling?
All right, well, we are heading into a week where we are going to theoretically have some softball playoffs.
True. Very true.
We're on a team called the Brooklyn Bogs. I don't know why they're called the Bogs. Why are the Bogs?
I think it's some sort of joke with the law school. I don't know. We're the only 2 non-lawyers on the team.
Yeah.
We're here to play sports, not understand legal references.
But let's manifest a good win. What do we say on 3?
I think let's go Bogs on 3.
All right, let's do it.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Let's go Bogs. We got that. We got that bog in us.
Yes, we do. Indeed, we do. Whatever it means.